our YouTube channel. My name is Gautam.
And I am Ashad, and we are going to do Australia's test preview.
At first, we are going to talk about the head-to-head encounters of Pakistan and Australia.
And the total times Pakistan and Australia have faced each other is 66 times, in which Australia have won 33 matches and Pakistan have 15, while the tied matches are 18.
Well, we can see here that Australia has a pretty good record over Pakistan, and they have been like out-rushing Pakistan. They have just lost two matches in home.
Yeah.
And that's like winning a test match in Australia against Australia is a huge thing for Pakistan, but this time they get that home ground advantage.
Yeah. So the last time Australia faced Pakistan is in their home ground, and in which the key moments were one is triple century. The thing that Pakistan should be worried about a lot in this match, and Yasir Shah's century, but he is not in the squad, and Musa's debut, which was quite good.
Well, seeing the Warner's triple century, I don't think Pakistan have anything to worry about because of the Shaheen Shah's new over form.
Yeah.
And also, in recent times, you can see even in Ashes, Warner has been struggling against the quick bowlers. So Shaheen can have a lot of advantage on that.
Surely they have.
Well, seeing other thing about Yasir Shah's century, I don't think it was something we could rely on now also.
No, but we have hitters in the deep order of our team, you know. So
we have batting depth over here.
Yeah, batting depth. So the Yasir Shah century was a key moment there too, as it was it was at the bottom, very deep. So it could be a key moment in winning matches.
Well, that Yasir and Babar partnership.
Yeah.
Australia had a lead of 400 runs, yet they got in pressure and they dropped. Okay, and talking about the player stats, we'll start off with Steve Smith, the Fab Four, the main guy of the batting depth of Australia.
So he scored 165 against Pakistan, and his average is 65. His highest score is 165. And he in India his average is 46, in Sri Lanka is 41, and in Bangladesh is 49, which is quite good in test in Asia.
Well, seeing subcontinent, we need to be worried about that. Yeah. He's having brilliant stats in subcontinent.
Yeah.
Well, talking about the next guy, Marnus Labuschagne, the next main player who did his debut against Pakistan too.
Yeah. And against Pakistan, his highest score is 123, and in UAE, his average is 20, which is quite less, which is a lot less. And
he hasn't played in subcontinent.
Yeah, a lot less, and
he hasn't played in subcontinent. It will be a new thing, but seeing the recent video you saw where he was practicing for the subcontinent pitches.
Yeah.
He had those aluminum things on that carpet. Yeah. So he's dedicated to the game. He can be a trouble, but especially his average in Pakistan in the Australia 123 is a huge average.
Yeah.
Well, talking about the main opener, the guy who was a man in the previous series, David Warner.
In India, his average is quite less, 24. In Sri Lanka, 27. In Bangladesh, 62, which is quite good. And against Pakistan, in Australia, its average is around 140, which is due to, I guess, its triple century. And in UAE is 56. Sorry. 56.
Well, seeing his overall average against Pakistan, it's quite good. It's quite good. It's a lot good. But talk about in subcontinent.
Yeah.
If we remove Bangladesh for some time, his average in India and Sri Lanka is not quite up to the mark. We can say about the Indian spinners, okay, fine. But Sri Lanka 27 average is not that impressive. So we can have that, and his recent form struggling against the quick bowlers we saw in Ashes too. Talking about the bowlers, we have up there Pat Cummins.
His average in India is 30, in Bangladesh 29, and against Pakistan is 32, which is quite good.
The average for test, it is quite good, but not that impressive. Like he cannot be a big trouble.
Good for Pakistan.
And especially seeing the subcontinent conditions. So we are in a bit of an advantage over here. The next main bowler, the peak of their bowling, Josh Hazlewood, was a main key in recent 36 all out of India.
In India, his average is 32, and Bangladesh is 32 again. and against Pakistan his average is 20, which is very good.
20 average against Pakistan. That is very, very low, and that is something Pakistani batsmen should be scared of.
Yeah.
But seeing again that subcontinent thing, these pacers might have that trouble again.
Yeah.
Well, then seeing Mitch Stark.
Mitchell Stark's average against India is 50, which is terrible, and Sri Lanka is 50, is terrific. And against Pakistan, in Australia, his average is 28, and in UAE, 15.
Seeing his average in subcontinent, there's a drastic change in India and Sri Lanka. But we can have that advantage of 50 average. We can beat that kind of trouble. Our batsmen have to beat trouble for Australia. We can aim Mitchell Stark because his average is really high. But against Pakistan in UAE, it's 13. Talking about Australia's recent form, what a form they have had in Ashes. They have won 5-0 against England, and they have outclassed them.
His top scorer of Australia was Tim Head. He played 6 innings, scored 357 runs. His highest score was 152, and with an average of around 60. He's quite good. So what do you think about him?
The main thing I see is he played only 4 matches.
Yeah.
Playing less matches, scoring more runs. Outclassing England in their home ground. They were kings.
And the next top scorer was
Marnus Labuschagne.
Marnus. He played 9 innings, which is a lot comparing Mark Head, and he scored 335 runs, scored 103 with his highest score, and with an average of 41.
Well, these two players can be a trouble for Pakistan.
Surely that. But we have Shaheen Afridi, which they should be worried about.
Shaheen Afridi, I will say, he can do with new ball.
Yeah.
He can do with definitely with new ball, but then by the time Marnus comes and all, the ball might be quite old.
Yeah, the new ball.
And where Tim Head comes at number 5, number 6, so he can be a huge trouble for Pakistan.
But we have spinners too, so we have a good squad, this time.
There will be a competition worth seeing because Australia touring Pakistan after 28 years.
Yeah, a lot of time.
Well, we are seeing our players' stats. They have a good stats in Pakistan too. So home ground advantage. We'll see what will happen.
Yeah. And that's enough for today. And
we'll meet you in the next video with a more interesting cricket topic. Thank you very much.